Welcome to Options and Ideas. Topic: difference in managing of HR function in big organization and in small organization. Although all human resource departments share the same goals of efficient problem solving and plan development, they differ in the paths they take to reach these desired goals. Size, responsibilities, resources, and recruiting methods are actually the main differences between HR in small businesses versus large companies. Small businesses have limited resources, including a small HR team, usually 1 to 3 employees, and a restrictive budget. Therefore, achieving the HR mission of a small business requires a distinct approach. The HR department within a small business is no different. A typical small business may have anywhere from 1 to 5 employees. Working as an HR professional in a small business most likely means you will be handling other roles besides HR. 4 ways HR is different for small businesses than for large organizations. 1. Resources or the lack thereof. One of the most common differences between small and big organizations is the availability of resources. 2. Recruitment and retention processes. Recruitment and retention are perhaps some of the most time-consuming aspects of an HR department, but the process differs significantly in small and large companies. 3. Level of responsibility. 4. Organizational structure. How is HR in small businesses different from large companies? Size, responsibilities, resources and recruiting. HR managers and their teams are responsible for effectively planning and developing solutions for their company to meet its objectives through the people it employs. This is one of the primary roles of HR whether in a small business or a large company. With this mindset, it's important for HR departments to recognize that employees should be molded and encouraged to work in a way that will manage and support the goals of the company. In order to accomplish this, small businesses have to realize that their size, responsibilities, resources and recruiting methods are different from that of a larger company. Achieving the HR mission of a small business requires a distinct approach. Size. Company size is the obvious difference between a small business and a large company. From office space and number of employees to number of customers and production levels, everything about a small business is just that, small. The HR department within a small business is no different. A typical small business may have anywhere from 1 to 5 employees. Working as an HR professional in a small business most likely means you will be handling other roles besides HR. Responsibilities. With a small business comes a small number of employees. Roles and responsibilities often overlap in order to get the job done. For instance, you may serve as the HR manager as well as the administrative assistant to the executive director. Or you may serve as the HR manager and bookkeeper. HR units of smaller organizations are sometimes forced to play a more reactive role due to constraints of its smaller team size or in many cases, a one-man operation, shares business management expert Maggie Karen. In other words, not only are you working 2 positions in the company, but your role as HR manager includes literally all HR tasks, including payroll, benefits administration, staffing as well as organizational growth planning and development. Resources. Resource availability is another difference between small businesses and large companies. It's obvious that small businesses just don't bring in the same kind of income large companies do. Because of this, there is a limit to what the HR department can do in terms of employee training, team building, and policy and procedure development. This doesn't mean that small businesses ignore these key areas in HR operations, but it does mean they have to approach these areas differently. Small business or large company? Working in a large company may give you the cushion you desire as an HR manager. Meaning, if you want to work within a large team with plenty of backup and support, then a large company atmosphere may be for you. But if you're ready for a challenge and looking for ways to get your hands dirty and be creative, then opt for a role within a small business. There's not only room for change, but there's room for growth in a more casual, relaxed, laid-back, and less time-constrained environment. Take your time reading through your options and see which one is best for you. The HR goals and roles are generally the same, it's the way they're carried out that makes the difference.